Check, check, check. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, check, check. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Scott, can you hear me? Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Scott, can you hear me? Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. This is Daniel. Scott, can you hear me?
Can't wait to fold my pants over. Because they're a little loose, but I'm like, you can see the tag. So I gotta wait till I speak it. I'm fold these off camera.
I'll post this here so it's not in my hand.
Totally fine.
Here, I'm gonna put this to just hold stuff down.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's what I was doing.
Okay, you got it. Well, that's my credit card thing can hold down, but that'll hold it, I think, fine.
Tell me where I go.
Okay.
Where do you want me to stand?
Where do you want it?
Okay. No, am I in the right place? You two will be in the front, and then everybody kind of off to the sides here. I'm gonna back a little bit more. So we have. There
Off
you
to
go.
one side or balanced?
No, you're balanced. Yep,
Okay.
you're good.
We have
So Jared, you'll be right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice. I got yelled at.
take off your purse. We have Laura, Aaron, and Carol, and John Allen.
And then yeah. And then this is
Do you want me to take a photo?
okay.
Did you want me to take a photo? No, we want you in the shot.
Oh,
You don't speak, but you're in. No, you're in with me.
Great. Hi, Lexi. Pat Harrigan. Very nice to meet you.
I will enter you.
Leave that up there.
Perfect. I'll
Great.
enter you, and then I'll enter Chrissy, and then she will enter.
Okay, that sounds great.
Let's go, people. Get pumped. Big energy.
Everybody ready?
Big energy out to the world. Let's do this.
You're tall.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Is this good enough for...
Your mic doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like I should stand
Let's see.
Thank God we're all wearing it.
Is everything... Can I do a test for the mics, or are we okay? Whoever's... Is the audio level okay for this? Okay, perfect. We're all set. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone.
I despise it. Every time I stand outside, y'all.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Okay, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. My name is Lexi Swearingen. I'll be the moderator of today's press conference. The conference is also live streaming, so thank you for those of you who are joining us that way. Today's speakers are available for questions and interviews afterwards. Any press with prearranged interviews or requests should see me after. It's with great pleasure that I present the panel behind me. Comprised of highly respected leaders in the fight against human trafficking, each will share their perspective and expertise as we introduce Simply Report, a first-of-its-kind mobile app designed by one of the nation's leading anti-trafficking organizations, Safe House Project. Leveraging modern-day technology vetted by human oversight, Simply Report empowers everyday Americans to safely, anonymously, and efficiently report suspected human trafficking tips to the proper authorities in real time. After a few remarks from our gracious host, Congressman Pat Harrigan, we will hear from our Safe House Project co-founders, Christy Wells and Brittany Dunn, Executive Director of My Life, My Choice, and Advisor to the Department of State U.S. Counsel on Human Trafficking, Audrey Morrissey. She will share remarks from the survivor's perspective. Tanya Jordan, Chief Parenting Officer of BARC, will address the technology side of this project and the new tool, while Chief Jared Rahoff of the Biscoe Police Department will speak on behalf of law enforcement advocates, and then Kimberly Fletcher, President and CEO of Moms for America, will speak to the threats against our children and the importance of eradicating human trafficking. Now it's my honor to introduce Congressman Harrigan. Graduating from West Point with a degree in nuclear engineering and trained as an Army Ranger, Pat Harrigan joined the Special Forces and served as a Green Beret in Afghanistan before building a company with his wife of 13 years. Congressman Harrigan proudly represents North Carolina's 10th Congressional District. Congressman, the floor is yours.
Hey, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here. I represent North Carolina's 10th Congressional District, a place that is defined by strong families, close-knit communities, and people who look out for each other. Yet, even in a place like ours, human trafficking is a growing threat. It hides in plain sight. It's in our neighborhoods, along our highways, and in the corners of our society that are often overlooked. Across the United States, an estimated 300,000 children fall victim to sex trafficking each and every year. Nearly all of them, 99%, are never identified. That's a staggering failure. It reflects a national system that is overwhelmed, underperforming, and in urgent need of change. The reality is this: most Americans do not know how to recognize the signs of trafficking, and even when they do, they often do not know how to respond. This lack of clarity not only leaves victims behind, but it also hampers law enforcement's ability to intervene quickly. That is why we are here today. This coalition represents a new approach, bringing together law enforcement, nonprofit leaders, and innovative technology to take meaningful action. It is about empowering communities with the tools they need to stop trafficking before it's too late. At the center of that effort is a new tool called Simply Report. Developed with input from survivors, psychologists, medical professionals, and police officers, it provides a fast, discreet, and secure way for the public to report suspected trafficking in real time. It connects concerned citizens directly with the professionals who can act, cutting through the noise and getting help to those who need it most. When someone sees a situation that does not feel right, they should not be left guessing. Simply Report gives them a way to act quickly, safely, and effectively. Congress must take this seriously. Just last month, 41 bipartisan state attorneys general called for action to replace the failed trafficking hotline. I stand with them, and I will continue pushing for legislation that supports the organizations doing this work on the ground. One of those organizations is Safe House Project. Under Christy Wells' leadership, Safe House Project has helped more than 2,900 survivors escape human trafficking. They have created over 600 safe housing spaces across the country, many of them in North Carolina, and trained more than 400,000 people to recognize and report trafficking. Christy is a national leader in this fight. She has spent 6 years helping children out of unimaginable situations and building a path towards healing. Her work is saving lives, and her commitment is changing the way our country responds to crisis. It is my honor to welcome to the podium the CEO of Safe House Project, Christy Wells. Christy. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Today marks a turning point in America's response to human trafficking. But before I go further, I want to thank Congressman Harrigan for your years of service, your leadership, and for standing up for vulnerable Americans. To Audrey Morrissey, your courage and honesty push all of us to do better. To Chief Rohoff and the officers who stand in our communities and stand between the victims and those who exploit them, thank you. And to our partners across the field, thank you for making this moment possible. Today, we officially launch a new tool, Simply Report. And with it, we close a dangerous and persistent gap in our national response to human trafficking. Let me explain. Every day in this country, someone sees something that doesn't sit right. Maybe it's a teenage girl in a hotel lobby that never makes eye contact. or a young man who looks terrified when someone else is in control of the conversation. A pattern of cars coming and going late at night from the same house. People see something, but they don't know what to do next. They try calling a hotline and get stuck on hold. They submit a tip and never hear back. They're left wondering, is anyone listening? And often, they never try again. Meanwhile, law enforcement is stretched thin. They tell us they receive vague tips, incomplete information, and have no clear way to verify or prioritize what's coming in. It's no wonder the 41 states' attorneys general recently called for a new solution, one that properly routes and vets and shares information with law enforcement in real time. And survivors, those who manage to escape, often don't know who to turn to for fear that they will lose control if they reach out for help. We've known this for years. We've heard it from survivors. We've heard it from officers. We've heard it from families. We've heard it from nonprofit partners. And 3 years ago, we decided to build something better. So we listened. We brought together survivors and law enforcement and advocates and technologists and service providers, and we asked the right question. What would it take to help survivors exit exploitation and get connected to real services and ensure that the people who harmed them are held accountable? Simply Report is the answer. It's a multi-channel reporting platform that anyone, anywhere can use right now via app or website. It's in more than 200 languages. And here's how it works. When someone reports suspected trafficking, our system uses a tested behavioral risk matrix to immediately assess the situation. Within seconds, it ranks the level of concern and routes those tips to the appropriate law enforcement based upon jurisdiction and indicators and other patterns in the system. If that tip connects to something else, it's flagged. If it reveals a broader network, it's surfaced. This means no more black hole, no more overwhelmed officers staring at a wall of vague tips, no more guessing. But just as importantly, if a survivor reaches out and says, I need help, we honor that. They're connected to a Safe House Project support team specialist, real people ready to connect them to safe shelter, trauma-informed care, legal assistance, and medical support, and everything that they need to begin their life and recover. All that support happens on their terms and with their consent and with their dignity intact. The dual track response, real-time intelligence for law enforcement and compassionate care for survivors. It's what sets Simply Report apart. It's not a hotline. It's not another inbox. It's a national infrastructure that finally works clearly, efficiently, and humanely. And it's already live today. We built Simply Report with one thing in mind: to help survivors find freedom faster and help communities respond smarter. Whether it's stopping trafficking in its early stages, helping someone escape who's being exploited, or building a case to dismantle a network, this tool empowers real people to take real action. This is how we finally close the gap between seeing trafficking and doing something about it. It's how we stop letting tips disappear into bureaucracy. It's how we make survivors feel seen and know that they're supported on their terms. It's how we begin holding traffickers and buyers accountable more consistently. This is what the experts fighting trafficking have asked for, and this is what we've built. Today, Simply Report is live, functioning, and it's already routing reports and connecting survivors across the country. And to every American, this tool was built for you too. If you see something and you don't know what to do, if you want to help but you felt helpless, this puts the power in your hands. If you want to be part of a solution, you are. So download it, use it, share it, tell your communities, equip your teams, because the more we use it, the more we uncover. And the more we uncover, the more lives we save. At Safe House Project, we believe we can end human trafficking in our lifetime, but we won't do it by recycling broken systems. We'll do it by building better, stronger ones together. And Simply Report is that better system. So let's use it, let's fight smarter, and let's not stop until every survivor is free and every trafficker is held accountable. Now I'm proud to welcome a respected survivor and victim advocate, Audrey Morrissey, to join me today. Executive Director of My Life, My Choice, and advisor to the Department of State's U.S. Council on Human Trafficking, Audrey brings incredible insight and perspective in this issue. She has spent a lifetime empowering survivors, and particularly the most vulnerable among us, to escape and heal. Audrey, thank you for your leadership in the field, and thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon. I'm really honored to be here. And I just want to thank everyone for showing up, not just for this moment, but for the victims across the United States who are still waiting to be seen, believed, and supported. I stand before you not just someone in support of Simple Report's mission, but as a survivor of human trafficking. There was a time in my life when my voice was silenced, when fear, shame, and control were louder than any cry for help I could muster. I know what it feels like to be invisible in plain sight. I know how long it takes to find someone who truly sees you. And I know that it doesn't have to be that way. Today we launch Simple Report, a user-friendly mobile app that allows anyone to anonymously report suspected trafficking and connect survivors to Safe House Project's trusted network of care and support. This app is powerful, not because it's flashy, but because it's practical. It empowers everyday people to act. It gives law enforcement the credible leads they need, also helps open the doors for survivors to find safety and healing much sooner. It means a great deal to me that this system protects survivors' anonymity and safety by ensuring that no information is shared with law enforcement without the survivor's express consent. That's what it means to be trauma-informed and survivor-led. Trafficking thrives in silence. I lived in silence, but Simple Report breaks it. When I was being trafficked, there were people who most likely noticed something was wrong, and I think of the neighbors who lived in my neighborhood, who could tell there was something going on, but didn't know how to help safely or who to tell. If this app had existed then, I may have been able to get out of the life sooner. Simple Report will empower survivors like me to find freedom and the support we need to heal. This app exists so no one has to wonder what to do when something doesn't feel right. It exists so someone else doesn't have to wait as long as I did to find freedom. It exists because our communities are capable of so much more than when we are informed, equipped, and willing to act. We are not launching an app, we are launching a movement to end trafficking in the U.S. by 2030. And again, this is a public health U.S. issue. It's possible because survivors are not statistics. We are leaders, we are mothers, neighbors, advocates, and now we are architects of solution. So today I ask you to join us. Download Simple Report, share it with your schools, your faith communities, your companies, your friends. Make it part of your everyday tools because you never know when someone like me might need it. Every person deserves to be free. And with Simple Report, we are making that freedom possible. One report, one connection, one voice at a time. And I do want to add, prior to the launch of Simple Report, I do want to say we did not fail before. We're just now in a place of learning and improving the tools, right? We use what worked at the time. And so today we want to be with the times, right? Everything is, young people and people don't use the telephone in the way of which they did. So I just want to say and speak for my survivors who have been doing this work that I stand with you, I support this app, and I continue to do this work. So thank you for listening.
Audrey, thank you for your leadership. It's truly a pleasure to get to work alongside you and to partner with you. I'm pleased now to welcome Titania Jordan, a digital parenting expert, best-selling author, and CMO and Chief Parenting Officer at Bark, to discuss the necessity of digital solutions to protect our children in a digital age. Titania? Oop, where'd she go?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here today. Thank you so much. My name, as you heard, is Titania Jordan, and I serve as the CMO and Chief Parent Officer at Bark Technologies. But first and foremost, I'm a mom. Navigating the digital world with my own son has been one of the most eye-opening and at times heartbreaking journeys of my life. Our kids are growing up in a world where danger doesn't always look like a dark alley. It can come through a text message, a gaming chat, or a social media DM. As a parent, that's terrifying. As someone who works in child online safety, I know too well what's at stake. That's why I'm incredibly proud to stand here today in support of the Simply Report app, a tool that puts power into the hands of everyday people to speak up, to report concerns, and most importantly, to help save a life. At Bark, we've dedicated ourselves to using technology to protect children in the digital space, monitoring texts, emails, and over 30 apps and platforms for signs of cyberbullying, predators, and other dangers. Simply Report complements our technology, providing the data-based ecosystem necessary to confront human trafficking, hold perpetrators accountable, and protect our children. And that's why this partnership means so much to us. Bark is honored to join forces with Safe House Project in this fight against child trafficking and exploitation. Simply Report is not just an app. It's a bridge. It's a lifeline. It's a way to turn suspicion into safety. As a mom, I'm going to look my son in the eye and say, I did everything I could to keep you and kids just like you safe. That's why we do this work. That's why we're here today. Thank you to Safe House Project for your tireless efforts, and thank you to everyone out here today who refuses to look away. Together, we are truly building a future where children to grow up free, safe, and strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Titania. Now it's my honor to introduce Chief Jared Rohoff of the Bisco Police Department. With a degree in Homeland Security, a master's in Criminal Justice and Public Administration, and over 15 years in law enforcement experience, including leading Fayetteville's Human Trafficking Unit, Chief Rohoff brings unparalleled expertise in combating crimes against persons, including trafficking. Chief Rohoff, the podium is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a tremendous honor to stand with you all today, survivors, advocates, public officials, and partners from across the country, as we mark the launch of a tool that has the potential to transform how we respond to one of the most devastating crimes in our communities, human trafficking. As Chief of Police in the town of Bisco, and as someone who has worked law enforcement for many years, I've seen firsthand how hidden and complex this crime can be. Human trafficking doesn't just happen in big cities or along major highways. It happens in our rural towns and our neighborhoods, and sometimes even in the places we least expect it. Even in the town of Bisco, with a population of 1,900 people, human trafficking occurs. The survivors of this crime are isolated, afraid, and unsure of whom to trust. And the traffickers, they're experts in manipulation, coercion, and control. That's why timely, actionable information is so important. In law enforcement, we depend on tools and systems that help us act fast, protect victims, and build cases that hold perpetrators accountable. But too often we've been let down by the very systems that were supposed to help us. We've had calls come in too late. We've had tips passed along without enough detail to follow up on. We've had survivors wait on hold for 30 to 45 minutes, long enough to decide it's not worth the risk. And we've had breakdowns in communication that meant local agencies like mine didn't even know when something was happening in our own backyard, in the communities that we swore to protect. That's unacceptable, and that's why Simply Report matters. Simply Report is just not another tool. It's the right tool at the right time. This platform was built with law enforcement in mind. It respects the urgency we face and responsibility that we carry, but more than that, it was built with survivors. Simply Report gives them back something we've had stolen from them: the ability to choose, the ability to speak up safely, the ability to access support on their terms. With Simply Report, survivors and community members can share concerns directly through a secure platform. The reports are routed to the right agencies in the right time. No waiting, no more delays. It protects privacy and ensures that consent is front and center. That's the kind of system that we can trust, and the people that we serve can trust too. This isn't just good for law enforcement. It's good for our whole community, every community across this great nation that we all love. It strengthens our partnerships with service providers, it improves outcomes for victims, and it gives us a better shot at stopping traffickers before they can exploit someone else. I'm proud to stand here today, not only as a police chief, but as a North Carolinian. Our state has made real progress in the fight against trafficking, but we know that we cannot do it alone. We need tools that work, data we can act on, and systems that are built for real-world response. Simply Report is that system. I am proud to stand alongside Safe House Project. I'm proud to be part of a community of professionals who are committed to doing more, doing better, and doing it together. I look forward to bringing this tool to my department and encouraging my peers across North Carolina to do the same. Not just across North Carolina, but across this entire nation. Together, we can build a future where traffickers no longer operate in the shadows, and where survivors and victims know they are not alone, and they will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. And I just want to say that we appreciate all of our men and women in law enforcement who have dedicated their lives to keeping our communities safe. Thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a fellow military wife, mother of 8, founder of Moms for America, an accomplished grassroots activist, author, columnist, and radio host. Kimberly is in the trenches calling out evil and protecting our children each and every day. Kimberly, the podium is yours.
Good afternoon. As president of Moms for America, I've spent over 2 decades organizing, mobilizing, and standing up for families. Nothing fuels my fire more than protecting children. Nothing. We are living in a nation where our children are being hunted, targeted online, manipulated, groomed, and trafficked. This is not something happening over there. This is happening in our own neighborhoods, our schools, and yes, our homes. And the moms I hear from, we've had enough. Let me be clear. We don't just need awareness, we need accountability. Trafficking must be exposed and predators must answer. For far too long, we've relied on a system that has failed us. The National Human Trafficking Hotline was supposed to be a lifeline, but for years it has failed to share tips with law enforcement. That's not just a breakdown, that's a betrayal of taxpayer dollars, of public trust, and most importantly, of the children still waiting for help. That's why Simply Report matters. This isn't a hotline that puts tips in a file. This is a direct reporting platform, free from red tape, free from political agendas. Safe House Project didn't just wait around for permission. They saw the gap and they built the solution. A solution that returns power to the parents who refuse to sit silently while children suffer. At Moms for America, we believe that when a mother rises up to protect her child, there is no force on earth that can stop her. Simply Report gives us a weapon to use in that fight. It gives us the ability to speak up, to take action, and to ensure our warnings don't disappear into silence. We're not asking nicely anymore. We are done trusting a system, all systems, that don't deliver. We are standing shoulder to shoulder with Safe House Project and everyone gathered here today. We see what's happening and we will no longer be silent. Not while one more child is in danger, not while one more mother is grieving, not while one more trafficker walks free. So to every mom, dad, teacher, and patriot across America, rise. Use this tool. Report what you see. Demand action. Let the traffickers know we're coming for them. And may God bless our children. And let's make sure they don't have to wait anymore.
Thank you, Kimberly, and for everyone for being part of this historic moment. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce my friend, my colleague, my co-founder, my Chief Operating Officer of Safe House Project, Brittany Dunn. She spent a decade leading international business development, and Brittany's corporate and global mergers and acquisitions experience and cross-cultural collaboration have informed her work and her innovation in combating human trafficking. Serving on the Governor of Virginia's Commission on Human Trafficking Prevention and Survivor Support, Brittany has helped shape policy, enhanced protections, and created sustainable public-private partnerships. It only follows that she ran point on the development of Simply Report. Brittany, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Christy, and good afternoon, everyone. As we close out today's press conference, I want to thank each of you. Every one of you, our speakers, our supporters, our partners, for standing here together with a shared purpose. I'm Brittany Dunn, co-founder and COO of Safe House Project. And as I look around to everyone gathered here today, I'm struck by something powerful. This is what collective impact looks like. Survivors, law enforcement, advocates, technologists, policymakers, all bringing our strengths to the table, united by one goal, to eradicate human trafficking. Simply Report is more than a piece of technology. It is the connective tissue between disciplines. It is the tool we've all needed but never had to fully activate the framework first laid out by Congress in the Trafficking Victims Protection Act: prevention, prosecution, and protection. And today, with all of you, we boldly advance the fourth and fifth P's: policy and partnership. To Audrey and every survivor watching, Simply Report was built with you and for you. It ensures that your autonomy is protected, your voice is heard, and your safety comes first. Information will never be shared with law enforcement unless you say so, because trauma-informed care is not a tagline, it's a commitment. To Chief Rohoff and our fellow officers around the country, Simply Report delivers what law enforcement has long asked for: accurate, real-time, jurisdictional specific intelligence that helps you do what you do best: intervene, protect, and pursue justice. To Congressman Harrigan, Congressman, thank you for standing with us today and for your commitment to protecting our most vulnerable. You represent a new generation of leadership that understands the need for real-world, actionable solutions. Simply Report delivers just that. It ensures faster, smarter referrals, and it produces the data that will empower you and your colleagues in Congress to advance legislation that is rooted in what is truly happening in communities across America. This is how we support informed, outcome-driven policy, by listening to the field and acting on the facts. To our communities across America,
Prevention begins with awareness, but it requires action. Simply Report allows every citizen to become part of the solution. Whether you're a local hotel worker, a rideshare driver, a teacher, or a concerned parent, you now have the tools at your fingertips to safely and anonymously report. And to our partners, from nonprofits to private industry, Simply Report reflects the very best of what's possible when we work together. We are proud to launch this system as a public-private initiative. It integrates into existing networks. It enhances, not replaces, the systems already in place. It is built for interoperability, for trust, for impact. Simply Report is already functioning today. It's identifying patterns, it's routing tips, it's connecting survivors to care and agencies to leads. And for the first time, we're not just collecting data, we're turning it into actionable intelligence that informs prevention, strengthens prosecution, and supports survivor recovery. As someone who has sat with survivors, who has held their stories and watched them navigate healing, I can tell you, data may point the way, but it's humanity that drives the mission. Behind every alert, a name, a life worth fighting for. So today, I close with this. Our mission is not just possible, it's achievable. Because we are no longer working in silos. We are working as one. Together through Simply Report and the collective will of everyone here, we are building a world where exploitation is exposed, where survivors are seen and supported, and where justice is not just a hope, but a reality. So thank you for standing with us. The work begins today.
Thank you, Brittany. I can't believe how far we've come in just under a decade of doing this work together. I have to tell you, we are so blessed to lead a team of such amazing people at Safe House Project. They work so hard every single day and do their part to end human trafficking and serve survivors. It's because of them and all of our partners that we stand here today and that we were able to develop Simply Report. Simply Report's a game changer. It empowers everyday Americans to act, connects survivors to safe housing and care, and delivers real-time, vetted tips to law enforcement, ensuring swift action against traffickers. We can't do this alone. I urge everyone to download Simply Report app today on your phone. Together we can end trafficking. One report at a time. Together we can make freedom possible for all. Now, Congressman Harrigan will deliver his final remarks.
All right, thank you to each of our speakers today and to all of you who joined us. What we heard makes one thing clear. The fight against human trafficking cannot be won with awareness alone. It requires tools, coordination, and a willingness to act decisively. Simply Report is a breakthrough. It empowers every American to become part of the solution by making it a simple, safe, and fast to report suspected trafficking. With AI-powered screening, human oversight, and direct links to law enforcement and aftercare, this app is going to save lives. It will also help law enforcement do their job with greater speed, accuracy, and most importantly, impact. As this platform is launched nationally, Congress must do its part. That includes supporting innovations like this and strengthening the laws that dismantle trafficking networks at their source. Just last week, I introduced the FINS Act to close a dangerous loophole in our financial system that cartels and smugglers exploit to move billions of dollars through unregulated wire transfers. These transactions help fund the same criminal enterprises that traffic women and children across our borders and into our communities. The FINS Act gives law enforcement better tools to follow the money, shut down cartel operations, and protect the most vulnerable. I will continue to advance strong policy, forge new partnerships, and support the communities on the front lines because the cost of inaction is far too high. I want to thank Christy Wells and the entire Safe House Project team for their tireless work, our law enforcement officers for their continued courage, and every advocate and survivor leader who shared their story today. The launch of Simply Report is not the conclusion of this effort. It is the beginning of a national movement to take human trafficking out of the shadows and bring accountability, protection, and justice to the forefront. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you to Congressman Harrigan, to Christy, to Brittany, to every leader that is standing on the front lines of this very important issue right behind me. With that, we'll bring the press conference to a close, and I direct any press to me. They are all available for interviews afterwards, and anyone who is live streaming, you can catch me by email. Thank you very much.